Today, we're going to talk about something that feels a little backwards, a little counterintuitive. We're going to explore the idea that real power, real strength, often comes not from what you say, but from what you don't. This is the architecture of strategic silence.
I mean, this just makes sense, right? It's our default setting. Think about it. In a meeting, a negotiation, even just a conversation with friends, we talk. We try to persuade, to explain, to fill the space with our voice because we believe that's how we assert ourselves and get ahead. It feels like we're doing something.
But what if that feeling, that sense of progress you get from talking, is just an illusion? What if the very assumption that you gain power by actively seizing it with your words is where we all go wrong? In fact, it's often the very thing that makes us lose our footing.
See, real power isn't something you grab in one big moment. It's acquired, quietly. It's something that you accumulate over time, almost without anyone noticing. And that small difference in wording, well, that changes absolutely everything.
And that, right there, is the secret. While everybody else is busy talking, trying so hard to gain power, the real advantage, the real leverage, it goes to the person in the room who is systematically, quietly, and strategically acquiring it just by listening.
So, why are we so wired to do the opposite? Why do we talk so much? Well, it all comes down to a fundamental mistake our brains make about what feels productive.
And here's the trap. Talking feels active, doesn't it? It feels like you're in the game, you're contributing, you're shaping things. Listening, on the other hand, well, it can feel passive, like you're just sitting on the sidelines. But that feeling is totally deceptive, and it's why we constantly give away our advantage without ever knowing we're doing it.
Next, let's completely reframe what speech even is, because for most of us, we've been thinking about it all wrong. We tend to believe that our speech is just expressive. We're just sharing what's on our minds. But the reality is, your speech is diagnostic. Every single time you talk, you're giving everyone around you a free diagnosis of your inner world. You're basically handing them the blueprint.
Just think about it for a second. The words you choose reveal what's important to you. The things you refuse to talk about, they hint at what you're afraid of. The questions you ask literally announce what you don't know. And the way you argue for something, that can show everyone exactly where you feel insecure. Every sentence is a data leak.
Okay, so if speaking is like an uncontrolled data leak, how do you flip the script? How do you reverse that flow? Well, you listen. Listening becomes your tool for systematic information capture.
And I want you to be really honest with yourself here. The next time you're in a conversation and someone else is talking, what's actually going on inside your head? Because for most people, it isn't what we'd call listening.
This is what's usually happening. We're not listening, we're just waiting for our turn to talk. Our mind is busy crafting the perfect comeback, defending our ego, looking for that tiny gap so we can jump in. That's not capturing information, that's just a self-focused pause.
True listening requires a huge mental shift. It means giving your attention without an agenda. You have to let go of your need to respond. Instead, you're just listening. You're listening to understand the structure of what they're saying, not to figure out what you're going to say next.
So here's how it works, broken down. It's a really simple, almost unbreakable formula. Step 1, the speaker gives away information. Step 2, the listener collects it. Over time, step 3, this creates an information imbalance, an asymmetry. And in any situation, step 4, the person who has more information holds the leverage. It's that simple.
So how do you actually put this into practice? How do you get people to give you more information? Well, the most powerful tool you have isn't a clever question. It's silence. We need to stop thinking of silence as just emptiness and start seeing it as an active force.
I love this idea. Silence functions like gravity. You see, most people are incredibly uncomfortable with it. It creates this vacuum in the conversation, a pressure that they feel this overwhelming need to fill. And in their rush to fill that void, that's when the truth starts to come out.
Try it? Just hold the silence for 2 or 3 extra seconds, and this is what you'll start to see. People will start over-explaining themselves. You'll hear the contradictions in their own stories. They'll accidentally tell you what their real priorities are, and you'll see their true emotional state start to leak through the cracks. You've just applied immense pressure without saying a single word.
Now, let's be clear. This whole idea isn't about you becoming a mute. It's about changing your relationship with words. It's about making your words so valuable that when you finally do decide to speak, they hit with maximum impact.
Think about the most powerful, most respected person in any room you've ever been in. Are they the one who's constantly chattering away? Or are they the one who listens while everyone else talks and then says one or two things that completely shifts the conversation? That's not just a coincidence. It's pure mechanics. When something is scarce, its perceived value goes way up.
So here's your new filter. Before you open your mouth, just run through this checklist. Is what I'm about to say absolutely necessary to add clarity, to direct action, to set a boundary, or correct a major error? If the answer is no, then silence is probably the stronger move. You stop talking just to fill the air.
So what happens when you actually cultivate this discipline? What's the end game here? What does the person who truly masters this look and feel like?
This is the payoff. Because you're taking in so much raw, unfiltered data, you start to see patterns long before anyone else does. You avoid stupid, pointless conflicts because you understand what's really going on beneath the surface. You waste so much less energy. And when you do speak, people listen. And maybe best of all, you become incredibly difficult to deceive because you've heard it all before.
And that's really the key takeaway. This isn't about being silent. It's about being selective. It's a fundamental shift, right? From being a compulsive broadcaster to a precise and powerful communicator. The only question left is, how much power are you willing to acquire?